This is a battle about what the truth actually is.
Do you think aliens are still visiting Earth now?
Yes.
The struggles politically of the next 10 or 20 years are about what reality we actually live in.
What on earth is that?
What is it?
Big, huge yellow glow out there.
You may be the first television audience to see a flying saucer.
Oh!
Hundreds of reports of strange objects in the sky have been filed with the Air Force. Here on this map are pinpointed locations where some 30 saucers have been sighted and are still unexplained.
I was a counterintelligence specialist. I handled counterintelligence operations for the United States Air Force. Back in the early 80s, we had a drone program at Kirtland Air Force Base, highly classified back then. So people would see these things flying around Kirtland Air Force Base, and we tried to deceive them or fool them to think that what they were seeing was in fact UFOs.
And then it seemed to just go together, make a ball, and fly out into that field.
We co-opted news organizations, local news media. And we planted stories, and they went along with it because they didn't know the truth.
How widespread was this operation?
Oh, it was very widespread. It went all the way up through the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And then from there, it would go up to the Director of Central Intelligence. And then from there, it would go to the White House.
Looked like a big cigar shape with light lit from both ends.
Do you think the lies you told about UFOs damaged the public's trust in the media?
Yes, I'd have to say, unfortunately, it did. Because when the real story came out sometime later, they were deceived by the media, yeah.
And just as we started down the woods, well, it went up through the trees.
Do you believe it weakened the public's trust in the government as well?
Well, yes, the public was deceived by the government, and for all these years, the government is still deceiving the public.
If you asked Americans whether they had faith in the government to do the right thing in the mid-1960s, 77% of them say, yes, I've got faith in the government.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
We're down to about 25% of Americans who say they trust the government.
Do you think your work disseminating disinformation on behalf of the US military has hurt you in some ways in now expressing a belief that aliens have in fact landed here?
Yeah, sure, yeah. The people that are saying this have never been in intelligence, never been in the military, never worked with the government, never had a security clearance. I didn't randomly go out there and become a maverick and spread disinformation to everybody I could think of. There was a particular purpose, an operation. We call it counterintelligence operation, you call it disinformation. I do understand people saying, how do we believe you when you spread disinformation? Well, I did it because I was told to do it. And I was commended, I got awards for it, and I did my job. I did what I was told to do.